Okay. All right. So, anything, could you tell what I'm
Well, I mean, width, I think it kind of felt like it was just an inch today. So,
okay. And that's good. Now, just know that even if some women just never can figure out things very well with the feeling of it. So, just know if you feel like you're healing width-wise, right?
yes.
Okay. So, some women will heal width and then depth later. So even if you are healing up width-wise, that's good. But if you still have that depth going on, that still, it takes breathing. Are you taking collagen?
Yeah, I haven't been this week. I really haven't. I feel like the 4th of July really threw me off.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Well, and I have been feeling like, I'm not sure. Monday and Tuesday, I made the Good Girl Moonshine, and I put the Truvia in it, and I think it has sugar alcohols, and those, I'm not sure if it's that or if I ate something, and got a little food poisoning or something, because like my stomach has just been not well, and so anyway.
Now, I don't know if Truvia, you have to be careful with some of the stevia with some things that are in it. So that's why I like Sweet Leaf, is safe.
Yeah.
And of course, Trim Healthy Mamas are safe.
Yeah.
But, and I go and I look on the back of the box all the time and it just says stevia.
Yeah.
And not the other stuff. So I don't know what Truvia is, but some are owned by the Coca-Cola company.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's Truvia or not. Do you know?
Yeah. I think it's one of their approved ones, but I did notice it had I can't remember, I think it's erythritol.
Okay, yeah. Don't jump on the furniture break.
In the past, I haven't tolerated those well, but I thought I haven't had that for 3 days. So
you haven't tolerated stevia well?
No, the sugar alcohols.
Okay.
But I would think they would be out of my system if Tuesday is the last time I've had them. So
yeah,
it must be something else. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Well,
so I just haven't been that. I've just been doing these shakes mostly but then I don't know, maybe it's, because I haven't been eating a whole lot of food. I don't know.
Yes.
But I've been putting that ICP supplement, on the cleansing and the chocolate mint because I just couldn't take it in water anymore.
I just do it. Gross. Well, how are you doing with that? Because I'll tell you, I'm different than some people. The Comfort Tone helps me, but then I start adding the ICP and it constipates me.
Really?
I can't do it. Like, I keep going back and forth with Nancy going, you want her to see Mercy real quick?
Aww.
Here. Do you want this now? Okay. Just make sure you pause the TV if you're going to use the phone.
I love you, YouTube.
If you go on only what you can go on.
Mom.
But Brittany.
I'm going to go in my room because...
No, you're staying out here.
But I want Mercy to come and cuddle with me.
You can cuddle on the floor.
Mercy.
Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I think the ICP can be a bulker.
Yeah.
But other people are doing just fine with it. Not me. I'm not doing just fine with it. So I guess that's just something I have to skip, and then I'll do the pear-free once I get done with this part of it.
Yeah.
So you just never know what's going to affect me because I was thinking, this is horrible. Like, I wouldn't go for 2 days after you started the ICP. So I was trying to figure all this out, what's going on. So, you do okay with it?
I guess so. I mean, this week I've been, it's been more loose for me because something's been going on, but.
Even with ICP, yeah. Well, good. Okay, so that's good. So some people, that's what you're just gonna have to figure out what you can and can't do. And I don't know why, but Ganksy's like, "Are you eating all whole foods?" And I'm like, pretty much, but I'm not perfect. But nobody's gonna be perfect, so this is not the reason here. I don't know what this is. Okay, so that's good that you're feeling widthwise. Have you stopped the tape completely, or do you still use it?
Well, I didn't do it this week, but I will. Let's see, today's Friday. I think, well, I could put it on today when we get home and leave it on tomorrow, but I don't know if I want to wear it Sunday to church.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only there anyway, but anyway.
Does it bug you on you? Is it like, there's something on me? And
well, it's just my shirts just stick to it and it makes me uncomfortable. So
yeah, I gotcha.
But anyway, but Monday I'll stick it back on for a few days. So
okay, I just didn't know, if you can see a difference, or if it helps you, if you can tell it's kind of telling your brain, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So everybody has different feelings, so that's why I'm just asking. Yeah. And yeah, okay. And then I would just recommend collagen. I know you probably wouldn't want to make bone broth. I'm thinking you're maybe not a good candidate to make your own bone broth, especially with the smell sometimes in the crock pot. So yeah, just stick with the collagen if you can do that. And I just made just that. I put it in my coffee a lot. Yeah. It's like I've put it in my coffee all this week because I ran out and I had to go get more. All right, so that sounds good. So you are seeing improvement there. How are you with the workouts? How are you feeling?
Good. I mean,
good?
Yeah.
You can do them okay? No aches, no pains? Can you feel like the engagement with some of them when you blow out?
I still kind of just go kind of on my own pace or whatever, just to make sure I'm kind of trying to, do it all kind of correctly, but it's getting easier and stuff. So, but yeah, some of the things like that I wouldn't think I would cone or something, like laying on my back with toe taps or just different things like.
Then you cone.
Yeah.
So just stick to the leg slides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just stick to those and really focus on, are you doing the breathing homework?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing the wrapping?
Mm-hmm.
How does the wrapping feel?
Good.
Do you feel like an ab workout after it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So so just stick to the leg slides. Some women can't do the toe taps for a while. So you're not alone in that. Don't worry. That shows me that linea alba tissue needs thickened, especially with that. So that's going to be, and I may have already said that, a great benchmark exercise for you to know when you're not coning. Maybe that can help with the dip. But yeah, the breathing homework. How many times are you doing it a day? Just once?
Once or twice.
Okay. Which position are you in now? You're off your back. Are you on your side now doing them?
Yeah, sometimes it's like if we're laying in the kids' rooms, it's easier just laying on my back on the floor in there. But yeah, last night at jiu-jitsu, I was standing against a wall and I just
did them there.
Kind of, so.
Okay.
Like, as long as nobody's seeing me breathe,
Yes. Yeah. And so have you had any problems with any of the positions?
No.
Like not feeling, okay.
I think it, in the beginning, you just get used to laying on your back and like feeling it. So it's just kind of getting used to, but even like I can tell a difference, even just if I breathe, just kind of, I can't think of the word, like your ribs, just putting those down. Yeah. But I can just feel like my breath opening up in the back.
Good. Have you ever felt your pelvic floor kind of lengthen? Can you feel anything down there?
I was thinking about that last night. I was standing there just doing the breathing and seeing if I could, but I didn't really feel like
it's some women have a hard time feeling that and they're like, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. It's just something that, like, I felt that. I can just feel it just sitting here, but yeah. So that kind of can take practice. All right. So it sounds like you're doing great with all that. And if you have issues, with any pains with the workouts, like knee pains or whatever, I want you to bring that up with Janine.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you can ask me too.
Yeah.
Because I may be like, oh, well, you may be doing this, or if you have questions about your form, and you want me to watch you, with your form, that's really great. Are you able to feel it in your glutes when you squat?
Oh yeah.
Oh yay! Okay, so you're doing great, because a lot of women can't feel it for a long time in their glutes. You have to really work with them. Yeah. They can't. They're so quad dominant that it's not working. So that's awesome. Okay. So all right. I think that's good for that part. How are you with everything else? Anything that you want to talk about or go over real quick? I know that you were talking about what did you tell me? The stronghold or something. I don't remember what you said. You said,
oh, what did I say?
You were going through the inner healing stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But if that's not something you think you need to go over, that's fine.
I can't even remember. It's like vaguely there, but no.
Okay. So do you have questions or anything else you want to go over real quick?
I don't think so. I, listened to this morning before I got up, I was listening to, Reckless Love. I did the Bethel, kind of the extended one, and wrote down stuff. And then I've noticed last night when the kids were going to bed and I prayed, and then I'll sing a couple songs and then leave. And then Lily always wants to just chit chat out, and I'm like, you have to stop. But then it ended up.
It doesn't ever stop. It never stops.
It was a really good conversation, though. There was a book I had bought a year or two ago. I think it was a Max Lucado kids book, but it was on kind of like God built this wall, but he left a hole in it, and the boy went through, and it was just darkness, and there was like a wolf, and we had to put the book away because the wolf was very scary to her. But anyway, yesterday she said, the other day whenever they got in trouble, and so I took toys away from them, and she said, when you took our dolls away, she goes, that book, I forget how she said it, with the wolf, like how you go to the other side. Like, she's like, I never really thought about it before, but it's like, we're going to that side with the wolf whenever we, I don't know, make those decisions, and it's like disobeying God. And anyway, but we just had this big, long, conversation about how God speaks to you. And it was just really good. And she's one of those that connects different things, and is a big thinker. And anyway, so it was just good. But
that's
this
awesome.
Morning, she can be very negative. And she's very, I've told you before, just very forceful. I don't know is the right word, but just anyway. But when I was getting them ready this morning, I just kind of did those positive, I don't know, I said, I'm going to say something and you guys repeat them. Just yes. I am wanted, I am loved. My mommy and daddy wanted me, and they love me, and God created me. Anyway, so, because I just thought, they just, I think, need more positive speaking over them, instead of just why are you guys mean to each other all the time? Or, just, so I just like how that's spilling over into,
That's one thing I do like about the Child Whisperer with Carol Tuttle.
Oh, yeah.
I think her latest podcast, which I have it in a queue to listen to, I haven't yet, but she talks about what we need to be speaking over our kids and about our kids. And I don't agree with every single thing she says about the kids, just because, you know what, it's Bree is a whole new ball game for me. Yeah. She just is. And I think she's an aggressive friendliness. It's not like this bubbly, she's so friendly and smiley, but I really think it's an aggressive friendliness. And so I even, like what you're saying, I've been doing that with her too. And I know it's just, I keep saying it's going to make a difference. That in prayer is going to make a difference. And I mean, so I don't know, like with your aggressive one, and like if I tell her no, she's just going to try to do it anyway. Or like I had sunscreen in my hands yesterday, and I was like, no, you can't use this, because she'd already wiped it all over her face, and it's that stuff that doesn't run in very easily.
Yeah.
Had it on her hands, on her dress, and then later I was getting it, and she just grabbed it out of my hand like that. It's just it's constant things like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, anything that I can do like that can speak positive, or read books that help her to connect behavior with the Lord and with her parents, since they're connectors. So that's why I think reading books to them is so great. But I don't know if you listened to the last Carol Tuttle Child Whisperer podcast, but I thought, I'm going to put that in my queue, because I definitely need to be reminded of that for Brie, because it's so easy for us moms just to be like, quit, stop. Do you ever feel like it's just no fun? Like, no fun. I feel like I'm just constantly saying, no, don't, stop, quit it, blah, blah, blah. I told my husband, I was like, we cannot do this. Like, I try to say, that's a great job. And anytime I see her doing stuff, I'm like, yay, I'll call Dusty. Guess what Bree did? Just make, let's celebrate. Yeah. So have you done that? Like celebrated when she's doing something? Because
even yesterday, Lily grabbed, at 4th of July, they got all the glow necklaces and bracelets.
Yes.
And so they have a ton of them that they play with a few days afterwards. And Annabelle had made like a crown and dangled below. And Lily went to grab it, and I had already told her no. And she went to do it anyway. And I said, I can't remember what I said. Like, you have a choice in this. Like, you knew you weren't supposed to do it, and you did it. And she, like, this is not normal for her, but she just picked it up and told Annabelle she was sorry and put it, like, connected it back. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I said, that is perfect. Like, not that you did something, not nice, but just what you responding quickly, like, anyway. But
and so just doing that is just so great. So what you're doing and speaking those things, but it's like we have to teach them not listen to the negative, because I'd say, even though I'm upset with you, this is who you are, Brie. And we were saying it out loud in the car going to my mom yesterday. I was just saying, this is who you are. Repeat after me, because I said, I know you get in trouble, but that isn't your identity. And so I think if we can speak that into them now as they get older, they can say, this isn't my identity. It's just something I did. Yeah. This is who I am. I think we're going to help our kids be so much better than what we had to deal with, Yeah. So what are your, thoughts when you wake up and stuff? Like, what I guess I'm trying to get at is how many negatives come into your brain about circumstances or worry or circumstances or just thoughts about you that aren't negative. I mean, how often are you coming up against those? Like from the time you wake up?
A
lot.
Well, like I wake up and it's usually, I hope the kids sleep longer because so I can have a little bit of time. But yeah, I feel like I'm just this weird like combination of two things. Like I want to wake up and just have time like to just sit like in my pajamas and drink coffee and read and stuff. But then I also like to just get up and get ready. So I'm like just like feel fresh. But I can't have it both ways, so then it's easy for me to like, if I do just kind of lounge around, then I'm upset that I didn't get ready. But then if I don't know.
Why can't you do both?
Well, like if I sit around, then the kids will get up and then I'll go get them breakfast and then I'll go help them get ready. And then I'm like taking a shower at like 11 o'clock and then it's lunch, then I gotta so, but we've been getting to bed so late that it's like, it's hard for me to wake up early to do that. So, but yeah, I feel like the negative probably comes easily and a lot throughout the day. Just like, I mean, it used to be, I was not even excited for my days. Like, here we go again, just taking care of everybody and being behind all day. And I mean, my floors haven't been mopped right as of right now, they haven't been mopped probably in a couple months. Like I vacuum and sweep and stuff, but like, just, I don't know. But I'm not as paranoid about it as I used to be. Like it used to really, really bother me. And now I'm just like, well, it could be worse, but, and they're definitely not horrible, but, oh yeah. When I wake up, trying to think what I normally think, but it seems like it's just, I don't know, more negative. Like, okay, I need to get up and I need to get around, or, I don't know when the kids are going to get up. Just that lack of control over knowing what's timing wise of the day.
Well, what I would say, because I deal with this too. That's what I'm saying. I deal with these negative thoughts. So that was just something that popped into my mind about you, so you can have better days. And I mean, this is just a habit to get into, and then eventually it replaces everything. So like you're laying in bed and feeling, oh, the day's about to start. I guess I better get up, blah, 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 what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? So, I will lay in bed and say, I'm so excited to get up and start my day. I get to take care of Bree. It's not I have to do this or have to. I get to. That's the statement that I use to replace a lot of stuff now. It's like I get to take care of Bree. I'm so excited about how our day is going to unfold. I'm so excited about the new things that God's going to bring, that his angels are on assignment for us to have it, make it an amazing day. And I'm excited that I get to make healthy, nutritious food for her and teach her about this. And, anything that pops into my mind that I'm sitting there worrying that anything is a negative, I can automatically now think, oh, well, what's the opposite of this? Because, okay, what's that scripture? Okay. Like I'm drawing a blank. The scripture that talks about you will eat the fruit of it, like whatever you think, whatever you speak, right? You're going to eat the fruit of it. So most people think of that, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat this, this negative, but we're also going to with our positive.
Yeah.
And so wherever there is negative, look at the opposite, because there's always going to be something. And I know this is nothing new, but I'm just telling you what ends up happening is when you start this journey, you can get excited at first and whatever, but then every day happens. It's everyday life. You're going to you're going to get up, we take care of the kids. We do the laundry, we do the dishes, we clean, blah, 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 blah. And just saying, thank you, Lord, that I have a home. Well, and I'll tell you, because when kids move out, the mess isn't there. The noise isn't there. I'm not there to talk to Chandler at night anymore. Chandler they all wanted me to talk with them in bed at night. That was some of my most precious times. We had the best conversations at night. And yes, there were times where I'd say, okay, we can't tonight. But, just to be able to think, thank you, God, that my child wants to talk to me, wants to spend time with me. I get to pour my wisdom into them. I mean, it's just such a different mind shift.
Yeah.
That we have to get into. Yeah. And so that's just something I encourage you is anytime you're going throughout your day, I'll have to do those dishes. Nope. I get to do these dishes. I get to do these dishes, and I'm going to be blessed by it. And I'm telling you, it will change your attitude. It does change your attitude. The more you say it, the more you think it, the more you believe it. And it's just easier to get through your day that way. And because do you know how bad the negativity drains your energy? It just drains it. And so I am a big music person. So if I'm feeling blah, or even if I'm speaking, I'm like, oh, I'm putting my peppy music on. And then we dance to do the dishes or whatever to clean the house. And that just helps me. It just helps me. And how old are your kiddos? How old's your oldest one?
6. She'll be 7 next month. So.
Give her, I know it's not going to be done like you like it. But if you have non-toxic cleaning spray, like I have the Thieves cleaning spray, and I clean everything. Have her spray the floors and just mop it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. Just be like, hey, would you love to mop today? Here, you can do this, and it kind of make it a game or whatever. But that's letting go of control. And that's saying, okay, at least it's going to be done a little bit. It may be not done perfect, but some of this is cleaned. So, because even Bree, she's 4 and she can spray, and I'll have her just go over my floors. And I know it's not perfect, but I think, well, there's some spots that are done.
Yeah. It's better than it was. Yeah.
Right. And so that's, just bringing them in to everything. It just really helps. And I've noticed that they can take that as spending time with mom, or, she's teaching me to do this. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Like, you're spending time with them and they're learning something constructive. Or that can be helpful to the family. But maybe you do that already, but it's not really. It's hard to give up that control, but
she asks to do stuff. But it's always like at the worst moment. Like any other day doing dishes would be fine, but like we got to be somewhere, or something.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
I sometimes like Lily will get in a mood like, let's clean the whole house today, and that way it's done, and and I'll say, yeah, it's good for you girls to learn how to do it, so you're not just like moving out one day and you don't know how to do anything, and then it's help taking care of our being a team and taking care of our place together. But then I think we ended up having to go somewhere that day, so it didn't happen. And then she's over it, but I can bring it up again. But but sometimes I was going to tell you, this just popped in my head one time. I don't know if they got in a fight or she was just acting, attitude and talking back. And I just like, I don't know, got in this, just energetically was just telling her like all these things like about God and just, or even just thankfulness that we can have that, like, you don't want to eat the food that I cook, but like, that old thing people do. Like, there are people that don't have anything to eat. But just saying those things, like, some people don't have a mommy and a daddy, or, but, and just stuff about God. And she's like, can you tell me that every day? Just reminder, yes. But, oh,
that's so cute. But some kids are so different.
Yeah. It popped in my head. I think this is kind of what I mentioned, maybe the strongholds or generational sin, was like a worrier, and kind of because my mom said my grandma, she's always like, well, your Nana, that's what everybody calls my grandma, she's a worrier. And then my mom, she said, I'm a worrier. And she's like, it's just, whatever about our family. And my grandpa, I guess, had a really bad temper, which I never saw, because he was like the fun grandpa, like when I was growing up. But that's one thing though my mom never really had, a temper. But anyway, I was just wondering, huh?
I said my mama did. I did too. Woo.
And maybe like she did for certain things, like if she was cleaning the house, like, and my room was a mess, like I could feel like the tension from my mom, like, but then I was like, you never asked me to do anything. You never told me to do chores. Like, I was not made to do anything. It's a wonder. I'm like, how did I turn out the way I did? Like, cleaning and doing laundry, like, I was never taught how to do it. But then I went away and I just did it. Like, I cleaned every week my apartments that I lived in college and stuff. But I'm just like, I just think she just expected it, I think, my room to be clean. But I'm like, I had all this stuff in one little room. Anyway. But,
but you're a worrier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you worry. I don't like to put that on you, that you're a worrier.
Yeah.
So did you go through the generational prayer for that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you went through that. Okay, so
if
good. Okay, so then you think it's done. It's done. Yeah. It's gone. The generational thing is broken. Like, it can't affect you anymore. So you have to believe that you have that authority to do that. Yeah. So now you get to practice not doing it anymore because it's become a habit. So the generational thing's gone, but you got to not keep doing the habit.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's what ends up happening is our brain, our subconscious mind, just like you're learning from Caroline Leaf, is going to do what it's been doing. Has she talked about the ruts that we make in our brains? Has she talked about that? Like, we have these well-worn paths in our brain, okay? And that worry is a well-worn path. So just think like you're having a wheelbarrow going down, and it's just so easy, okay?
Yeah.
You got to pop it up over that little ridge to make new paths, okay? And that, it takes a little effort to do that. And what you're doing is great, but worry creates stress and it creates inflammation in your body. Mm-hmm. So worrying is causing inflammation in your body, whether you know that or not, but it is. So what I'm telling you to do right now, like anytime that negative comes, what do you worry about? Is it still parasites?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like,
okay,
I was praying about it today. Like, what do I need to do to get over this fear?
Okay,
like,
you can. Okay, here we go. If it was me, this is what I would do, and it does take some time, but that's the generational thing with the worry, right there, because you're worrying about something. What you do is just. How do we change? We change from the inside, right? So you can be like, no, these parasites cannot harm my family because God is taking care of us. I trust God. To take care of these things. These parasites are not going to affect us. I do not worry about parasites because everything that I'm doing, everything we're putting in our mouths, God is blessing. Everything we come in contact, God is going to bless. You know, go to those scriptures that talk about you can drink poison and it won't harm you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote that under my goal. Like I went and looked up that scripture. And
oh, well, see, that is confirmation. You know, with the snakes, they can bite you. You're not going to die.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you have authority, Kylee. And also, I think that you're in a battle. Okay. The enemy doesn't want you free. So you can be like, you need to get away from me in the name of Jesus. This does not bother me anymore. I am not, this stronghold with these parasites is not a thing for me. In the name of Jesus. You go away in the name of Jesus. I mean, have you done stuff like that?
Not for that, but I have.
Okay. But you need to do that for that because I think it's a battle and Satan just wants to be like, oh, I've got her right here.
Because sometimes I'll look, you know, like you don't know when growth or change, like you don't know it during it, but afterwards you can, like I'll look back and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I'm so much better than I used to be. But then like the cat will walk up and have like worms on his butt or whatever. Or one of my friends, well, she lives in Oklahoma.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay. I see cats all the, okay, I'm just going to tell, okay, I'll remember what your friend said about Oklahoma. Okay, do you remember, okay, what we think on and what we worry about, sometimes we get it attracts to us.
Yeah. Okay. I think about that.
I have a cousin who, or no, she's my niece. She's terrified of spiders. A tarantula was in her laundry room across her foot. She sees tarantulas. She sees spiders everywhere. I don't see tarantulas.
Yeah.
I don't see all this stuff, but she's terrified of them. And so when you're talking about the cat's always got worms on his butt, I'm like, I grew up with cats. And they did have ringworms one time, and then they had something else, but never, like, we didn't deal with all the worms.
Yeah.
Like, and so I just think, especially the enemy's going to be like attacking you where that's concerned. So once you let go of this fear and just trust God and know that it's not going to affect your family, I don't think you're going to even, it's not even going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you know, because I grew up, like we lived in town and had an indoor-outdoor cat. And like, I did not think a thing of it, but sometimes like the cat would come in and like puke up a worm. And my mom would put it in a Ziploc bag, put it on the kitchen counter and take it to the, like in the baggie and put it on, like it'd be dead, but it would, and take it to the vet and say, you know, like this is what the cat puked up, and he would give whatever pill we needed. And
how did that make you feel as a little girl?
I didn't even think twice about it.
You didn't?
Like,
okay.
I didn't think it affected me at all. But, you know, I can look back and be like, okay, I probably barely washed my hands before I ate, like, ever. And I would go outside and, like, play softball, and the ball would roll on the ground, or I'd be laying on the ground. Cats would sit on me. You know what I mean? Like, I can look back and be like, everything was fine. I may have had a worm, but, you know, I was okay. But, or I didn't, you know, but like I can mentally just know, like, but it's just, that's something.
When did this fear come into your life?
It came in, probably 2010. I watched something on Animal Planet called Monsters Inside Me on parasites, and how like this baby in the US crawled like in a park and got like dirt under his fingernails, which probably had raccoon, these worm eggs that raccoons always pass, and they can live in the soil for 7 years alive, but then the baby probably put his fingers in his mouth and his stomach acid activated him, and it ended up like eating the back of his eyes. And anyway, like, and then our cat it kept having GI issues for years. And then we finally took her to a vet, and she did the muscle testing and said it was a parasite. Well, I didn't really think much about it. And then we got these dogs, and they were just like full of worms. And it just all started like with that show. Because I don't think if I hadn't watched that TV show,
it wouldn't have affected you.
No, because the cat, I would just been like, okay, I wouldn't have thought there's worm eggs everywhere, and then we don't wear shoes in the house, and I'm like, we grew up wearing shoes in the house. Like, I just hate this awareness, that like it's nothing new. They've been there forever.
Have you ever, and since you know Carol Tuttle, you probably know this is what's just coming to my mind. Have you done tapping?
I've tried it.
Have you done tapping for this?
No.
For the fear of this? Okay.
No.
I have a friend. She's Christian. She loves Jesus just like me. She is he's probably the most natural doctor here in Amarillo. And she's his nurse practitioner. So she knows all these things. She's learned all these things. And she does stuff with muscle testing, even spiritual stuff. But before she did all that, she did tapping. Well, her clients would come in, and she could see a huge change in them just with the tapping.
Huh.
So I don't know. This kind of came into my mind that possibly, and I've done tapping for things, and here's my thought on it. I don't know about all the lines and the energy stuff that runs through and how that affects it, but I think it helps our brain to focus so much on that. We say it over and over and over again that I think we start hearing it and listening to it, and that's what happens. And so because this is such a huge fear, I did tapping with money, because money and poverty mindset was such a huge thing for me that I actually started doing some of the tapping for that and had lots of declarations for that. But since this is such a stronghold, maybe would you be open to that?
Yeah.
Would you be embarrassed to do it with me? You want to do it on your own? Okay. Well, because I've not ever done the tapping with the fear of all this. So what I need to do is next time we'll get together, we'll do this, and maybe I'll write out a script for it, for this, and then just covering it with prayer, and then writing lots of declarations on this, because you don't want this to be a stronghold.
Yeah.
And it does have to do with worry.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, it's spilled over into Lily. She's just, I feel like, one of the personality that can naturally be fearful and worry. And, well, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like my younger one's just more carefree and and Lily can just be like, oh my gosh, like we got to get in, we got to wash our hands. Like, I've made her, like, when she comes inside, like she just automatically washes her hands, which may not be a bad thing, but it's just like,
that's not a bad thing at all.
Anyway, but
well, my son, I don't know where he got it from, because I'm not like this. He would line the toilet seat and toilet paper in our own house.
Really?
I'd be like, what are you doing? I cleaned it. And he's like, no. And then he would be like, Mom, if you think about it, eating from the forks and spoons from the cafeteria at school is so disgusting because other people have eaten off of them. Like, he will not share his food. If somebody takes a bite of his food or drink, if he's hungry, he will shove it away and will not drink it.
Yeah.
I do not know where this came from in him, because I am not like that.
Yeah.
We share food. We share, like, with my kids. So things can come in to people from different things. I mean, he's not as bad as he used to be. Thank goodness. He's gotten a lot better, but because I'll be like, here, pour some of your drink into mine so I can have a taste of what you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not as bad. But I definitely things can get past our kids. But like I said, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is what I keep hearing is the worry and the fear for that. So what are emotions that you're dealing with and obstacles that you think you're dealing with that's stopping you from living who you're supposed to be, living in your identity? Is it everything we talked about today? Like even accomplishing things that you want to accomplish, just anything like that. So what do you think is stopping if there's things like that?
I mean, even last Sunday, I mean, this isn't like something to accomplish, but I had a baby shower that I went to, and it, like, I didn't know hardly anybody else there because it was my sister-in-law put it on for a mutual friend, and I knew a few gals there, but the rest of them were, you know, just her family and people she grew up knowing. And then at the end, they wanted us to go around and like tell how we knew Katie, and then it ended up being more than that, like how she's impacted our life. And like I just get like I don't have a problem with telling, you know, about that stuff, but it's just in front of people. Like, and even if I would have known them, like I just can feel like my heart beating and just getting nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice is going to be shaky. But you know, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, because I used to, whenever I taught classes at the Y, like when I was in high school and college, like, and maybe because I was confident, like I loved it. Like I would plan out my routines, you know, like the grapevines and the kicks and you know what I mean? Just like, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe that made people enjoy it too. But I kind of was like, I didn't care. Like I could do that, put on the microphone, and just wasn't shy at all in that sense. Like I was, but it was my own atmosphere maybe. And
well, okay, were you like that when you were that age any other time, like in those situations?
no, like I hated speaking. Like I had to give a speech at 8th grade graduation and at high school graduation, and like I just hate, like I'm terrified. But even like but if we have like a small group at church, like I'm okay with that. But it's just
were you thinking, what are these women going to think of me? What were you thinking? What were thoughts that go going through your head?
I guess what am I going to say? Mm-hmm. I'm going to forget what I'm going to say. So then I'm trying to say it in my head. And yeah, just I guess I'm getting that like people are going to be looking at me, and I don't know what they're going to be thinking about me, you know, just
so in those situations, that's where you practice saying into your brain of, I am a child of God. I am worthy to do this. What I have to say is important. When I speak, people listen to me, because when I speak, God's Spirit is there and His anointing is on me, and I change lives with how I speak. I mean, because what ends up happening in those situations is we have our mind on ourselves. We can get our mind off of ourselves and onto something else. That's what's going to help. What am I going to, what are they going to think about me? So that's where you say, how can what I say bless this person?
Yeah.
And bless other people in the room. And that's where we get to practice it. And also speaking things like that every day it's going to help us to stay in the habit. So, and throughout the day, you can be saying stuff like, what I say matters. God has given me a voice and I'm going to use this voice for God.
Yeah.
Everything, the words that I speak impact others, no matter how little they are, no matter if it's an abundance of words, it doesn't matter. Just even where I go, my spirit impacts other people. And so just learning to say those things about yourself throughout the day is going to give you confidence. And when you're in those situations, just taking your mind off yourself and putting it on other people, seeing how God is going to use you. Would that help you?
Yeah. I was just thinking whenever you were saying that one of my goals was on not caring what people think.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I put, like, when I'm with people, they see you instead of me. And so Jesus. And so anyway, it just kind of goes with that. So
that's just something to remember when we're in these situations. Why do I know this? Because I'm this one who I can be in a group of people and my face will get red. Literally. And sometimes I'm not even embarrassed. I don't even know where it comes from. And people are like, you're red. And I'm like, oh, well, lovely. There it goes. But there's something that's triggered. I've been like that since I was a little girl. So actually helping me think about others in those situations has totally helped me, and posting stuff on social media. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't care about posting in front of people I don't know. But it's my family and friends who follow me, who see stuff and they'll be like, oh, I saw you doing that. I'm just like, yeah. I'm better now, but when I first started doing it, I thought, oh, Lord, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the women that you call me to, I'm not doing this for me. These are the things that I've had to say. So, yeah, I think that would really be great to help you with the confidence. Just keep speaking those things through the day, and you're going to change from the inside. And I know that God's going to continue telling you how much he loves you. So then you're going to write those down and you're going to continue speaking all these amazing things that God says about you, because ultimately that's all that matters, is how God sees us and the identity he's put in us. So you think confidence is still something that kind of keeps you back from walking in everything?
Yeah.
And
I guess it's that, because I wrote in my journal, like maybe whenever it was on those strongholds, like like the people, it seems like that I care about what they think aren't people that I would want to be friends with.
I get that.
Like the uppity people at church, like I don't want them thinking I'm less than or something, but I'm like, why does that even matter? And maybe they're decent people, like I want good for them, but like just as they are, like they wouldn't be somebody I would probably choose to be friends with. So anyway, I just what was it? Oh, I think kind of in the beginning, whenever we would talk on maybe like the like situations or circumstances or people, like it's not going to be perfect. Like there's always going to be people that don't like who we are or are, I don't know, just different things. There's always going to be that. So just being like, I can already like feel like the confidence coming from God just on, because that's just what I've been praying lately, is just to be transformed by his love, and that I would know his love for me, because that's really been like a missing link, but yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you're just going to continue growing in this, and it's a journey. How are you with the forgiveness about that girl?
Better.
Good.
Like, I was just thinking about that this morning, and it seems like when I get in the shower is when I remember to like pray about her.
Yeah, showers are amazing. Bath times for me.
Yeah, and but even this morning I was just like, there's a lot of me that just doesn't want to pray this or doesn't feel like I want this, but like I do, blessings for her, and just praying like, I don't even know what I said, just that I get to where I really, really want those for her, even if it's hard to pray,
Yeah.
And I've just been praying them for my husband too, because even though I've forgiven him, like there can still be tension, about it. And so just praying blessings for him. And I think, I was thinking with Brittany, like, it's so silly, but like, if I were like, now this is a confidence thing, I guess. If I were like thin, I don't know that I would be as embarrassed to run into her, because I guess I feel like I'm giving her a one up, like, and she's not perfect, but just, and that's something I guess I am letting her have, like I'm giving her a place ahead of me, even though it's not really there.
Understand. Like I wanted to make sure that my body was perfect, or I was put together just right if I was going to go and buy his ex.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably not great on my part, because like I wanted her to know that I don't know what I wanted her to know, but it was like, yeah, or maybe she'd be thinking stuff like, why did he even choose her? Or why did he even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just all these horrible thoughts that would go through my mind. Now I don't care. But I did go through all of that and think, yes, my clothes, my makeup, everything just had to be perfect if I knew I was going to be running into her. And it's just ridiculous. Why does it even matter? But it's like, it's that saying that Satan doesn't have any new tricks under the sun. He doesn't. He's doing it to you. He's doing it to everybody. He's doing it to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but some people may not struggle with the confidence and stuff, or the shame. They may have other areas that are weak. This would be that area for you. So, yeah, working on that is going to be something for you. It's just a journey so that you can feel confident no matter what. So I guess you bump into her sometimes.
No, I avoid things like, but I'm like, I probably wouldn't if I would be confident. But that's just a physicality. I don't know if that's the right word. Just like that's dependent on something that is not of God, like, so.
Yeah. And you don't want your life ruled by that. Like you don't want that to make you not be able to go in and do certain things into town, or go in, we can just feel. I loved that movie, just Shallow Hal. Do you remember watching that movie?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, she saw herself as beautiful.
Okay. Yeah.
On the outside, something in her brain, she couldn't see it, but so she just did whatever, and she had so much fun.
Yeah.
So if we can get that image of us in here in our brain, that's what we see, and that we see ourselves like God sees us, that's going to help us to have more fun, enjoy our life, have more joy. That's all about knowing our identity. And I know what we see on the outside is not going to be the same, but I'm telling you, if we can get it in here, we're going to have so much more fun. And the outside will follow if that's what you want, because what we focus on, that's what we tend to end up having.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if we're focusing on, I just look awful, and just, then, what's people going to think of me? If we focus on things, just having the confidence when we walk into the room with people, just fake it. Yeah. The fake it till you make it. I don't care what people think. And even if you are, my goodness, you can, I'm telling you, if you can fake it and keep speaking it, you will get there.
Yeah.
You will.
Well, and I think last week you said, I don't know if it was sin or something we were talking about, or maybe just Satan tempting, but you had said, like, we are created in God's image, and that is stronger than Satan or whatever. And that has just been coming to my mind so much. And even for Lily, I said something about it to her, because I can't remember what we were talking about. But
Bree, what are you watching?
It was only commercial.
Okay, but what are you watching?
I'm watching the Day of Daily.
I don't want you to watch the Day of Daily.
It's only this. It's only the makeup girl.
They're putting on makeup?
Well, they're doing an Akon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was only a commercial.
Okay.
I gotta wipe a bottom real quick.
Okay, yeah. Come here, Bree. Let me see that. Bree, you're ignoring mommy. Bree.
What?
Come here.
It's my turn.
No, go on something else besides Day of Daily. Let's go on Tig and Wooly now.
No, not Tig and Wooly. I know I can go on and turn.
Well, show mommy.
Here, I have a good idea. I'm on their channel, but I'm going to.
You gotta go this way. Sometimes they're bratty on there. You know they are.
I've been watching this. So, I'm going to watch this movie because those people are nice. And that's a cute little doggy, isn't it? And what kind of dog is that?
I'm not sure.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I think it was what I said is we were created in God's image, and that's what Satan wanted. He didn't have that. He wanted to be like God. So God made us like him. And he's not here to torment us. We're here to torment him. Like we have more of that. That's why he hates us so much, because we are like God. We are created in his image. I mean, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
Like, when you kind of sit and think about that, it's pretty darn amazing.
Yeah. Well, and even the Caroline Leaf book, and you think about our bodies, like how we're able to heal and how we can gain weight, but we can lose it, like we can reverse stuff with eating healthfully, or, oils or herbs or whatever. And we cut our hair and it grows back. Mm-hmm. Or, just our thoughts can change, like our stuff in our body, so that we don't get sick, or just like how regenerative, whatever, we can,
I know what you mean.
like, it's just amazing that we're not just stuck, where we can get ourselves or whatever. And
our brains are that way with the neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know how people can not think that there is not a God, when
I don't think either.
About everything. But yeah, just I was thinking about that yesterday, how like we have the choice to change, and so.
Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day, it's simple, but it's hard. Mm-hmm. Because when I say that scripture, we're transformed by renewing our minds, not by trying harder. That's simple, but in our lives, it's hard because we actually have to sit still. We have to meditate on God's word. We have to believe his word. But we're not trying and we're not striving, though. We can sit and be transformed, and we are unlimited to how much we could transform our mind. We're unlimited to it. So that to me is pretty amazing. Yeah. But people don't understand that. Like, just how much I've changed and transformed. When I figured this out, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not the same person. Yeah. If somebody says something about me, I might be like, but then it just rolls off me. Yeah. It's not a big deal anymore because I know who I am. Yeah. And
what do you suggest? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
Like when I go to my parents' house, and I wouldn't say it's like the atmosphere is positive. My dad's a fun guy, but my mom can get into like, her aunts and uncles or her mom, like, it's just easy to kind of fall into
the negativity and the gossip and the worrying and all that.
About, my stepson, like what's going on with that, and just, So like whenever you kind of go back, when you go around people, and it's easy to kind of fall into old patterns, like do you just kind of just speak?
Now, is your mom open to what you're learning?
She believes in God, but I think, they're kind of just, they don't go to church, and they just think we're good people, so God didn't put us in hell.
See, now my mom, I understand that feeling because my mom can be negative, but I've actually gotten her out of it, and she's doing a lot of this now.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been an influence. So I change when people are doing it, I change what I would say in the situation. Like, I don't let it get me. If I feel it, like, you can start feeling that negativity and just a blahness. And I just, depending on what it is, I just kind of change how I respond to it.
Yeah.
The other day, my mom, you would not think my mom did this, but she did. We lost my grandpa, my grandma, and my step-grandpa all in a month and a half's time.
Oh my gosh.
No. 2 months' time. When I was in 6th grade. After that, was I 6 or 7? Then I became 14. I think mom was still dealing with all that. Then I just remember thinking, when a year is over, I will be so thankful that not everybody is walking around so depressed. Like, it drove me bananas. Then I got pregnant at 14 because I had Miles at 15. Well, and in between all of this, I'm 13 dating a 17-year-old, and mom is trying to, like, I was a good kid, and then I met him, and I was like, oh my God, just, that's all I wanted was this guy, and so she was just beside herself this whole time. And then I got pregnant, and I got married, but in the midst of it, my mom had dated this guy for 11 years, and his son was one of the ones that sexually abused me. But, so for 11 years, and
what is it? Okay. Thank you. Shut the door, please.
But this guy, he had porn magazines all over his house. He had weed, and he did coke. Well, my mom never did anything like that, but like she went into doing coke for a while, and we all found out about it and just intervened, and she went to rehab. And mom wasn't really addicted to it. She was just escaping life. Yeah. And So the other day I'm at her house and she's like, I just have the sinus problems and I know why I have them. And I'm like, well, why do you have them? Well, I'm reaping what I sowed with, that Coke, and I always have it. And I just looked at her and I said, holy cow, Mom. I said, do you think that's who God is? Like, literally, you think he's sitting there just because, and I'm not saying it how she said it real good. I said, you think he's saying because you did that, you're going to live with that for the rest of your life? And he was like, she just goes, well, I said, oh, no. I said, that is not who our God is. That is not what he wants. He wants you healed. He wants you whole. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, like, if I hear that, it frustrates me. And she was like, oh, I guess I do need to start speaking differently about a lot of things. And I said, you do. And if that comes to your mind, you need to not think that way. So now you may not be like that with your mom, but I'm like, what's wrong with you? But don't you say that. But I am really good now about changing the situation. Like, as a matter of fact, one time somebody was saying something negative about this guy, and that's what it always was. And I said, I have just made a decision that I'm just not going to talk that way about him anymore. They didn't like that. But I just said, I'm not going to talk that way about him anymore. I just can't do it. So you just kind of have to start changing what you say and how you think. And it can change the atmosphere. But I kind of didn't want to be around my mom for a while. And she's my best friend. Because I would think, oh, she's going to bring up her sister. Or she's going to bring up her brother. Or and this is this and this. But now I've helped her so much that I can go over there and she has joy in her face. And I'm like, God, thank you. So I'm not saying that I did it. What I'm saying is God used me to speak that into her life. And I would just pray, how can maybe God use you in your mom's life? Because just because she's your mom doesn't mean he can't use you in her life. We can be an influence to our parents. They don't have to have that influence over us in a negative way. We actually can come in and influence them.
No, not like
that. So when I go stay with my dad in Midland, he is so negative. I'm always like, you are so negative, Dad. And my dad is right here. This is my boundary with my dad. He gets surface talk from me because he can be a monster behind closed doors. Anytime I call him, it's on speaker, so he knows Dusty's around me or Bree's around me, so he can't be mean if he's having a down day or something. And, I'm okay. I'm okay with that because I know who he is. But your mom is probably not like that. My dad's a whole nother ball game. So that's my recommendation, is just, if you were at home and you were thinking negative thoughts, and you would be, okay, how can I replace these, or how can I pray for them? You can even say, maybe we need to pray for them. Maybe we just need to pray about this situation. Because I'll do that, and Mom and I'll just start praying. My mom there, and she's starting to pray. And so, about things. Does that help?
Yeah.
It's probably not comfortable if you've not been that way before, but.
Yeah. The praying, I think she would be like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like,
yeah, you don't have to do that.
But
just say, well, maybe, you need to pray for them, or maybe I just need to pray for them, or, think about maybe how God sees the situation. How would God see this situation differently?
Yeah.
And so it's just a lot easier, because I am tempted. Sometimes when his ex does something, I want to call my friends, my flesh, and say, you wouldn't believe what she did now, or blah, 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 blah. But I'll be like, is this covering a multitude of sins? Is this me trusting God that he's going to justify this? Like, why do I need to do this? Why does everybody need to think bad about her? What is that? That pumps my flesh up.
Yeah.
And so, I just really don't do that anymore. I talk to my husband about it, maybe my mom, because now they're safe places to go to. But if I'm doing it just to gossip, then I just try not to do it. I'll think, what is my motive here? What is my motive for me saying this? What is my motive for me speaking this? I always have to look at my motive. And if it's just to make me feel better or to pump up my flesh, I know I better stop.
Yeah.
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 So what I encourage you this week is, it's not going to be a lot different, but this is a journey and it takes practice. And that's what I'm here for, is to help you get into the habit of this. Because counseling is great, but once you identify something that you've dealt with in your past, and that's what counseling does a lot of times, you identify it and you deal with it. But counseling can stay on a certain thing for a long time. I've had friends who are in counseling for 5 years and they're still having issues. But what they didn't do was replace all of that with truth. That's the key.
Yeah.
So, but it takes practice. So for you, worrying, you broke that, so now you've got to get out of the habit of that. So doing stuff like I told you to do whenever the negativity comes up, and it's trying to make you have a bad day and like you're not enjoying your life, that's where you go, okay, what are my thoughts? What am I thinking right now? Why am I feeling this way? Because I guarantee you, if you start talking the opposite or say the opposite or put fun music on or something, whatever helps you, then that's going to change your day. It's going to change how you feel. Yeah. So that's kind of what, recommend there. And go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking earlier when you were talking about the music, like I've gotten out of like doing music while I do anything, because since I started listening to podcasts, a couple of years ago,
yeah,
it's easy just to like want to get all the information,
Me too. I'm an information sponge.
Yeah. And so then it's just like, you can't even process it because you just keep having it come in and in and in, instead of just like listen to one and then let it sit, and, but I have been doing music more, and, it just makes such a difference, It
does.
Yeah.
The podcasts are great, but it can be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something else I want you to do. Okay? Okay. Do you daydream?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to purposefully daydream about the things you want to see in your life. Be a little kid again and start daydreaming. Just sit, be quiet, look out a window, do something, and daydream about all the things you want to see that you would love. I love little kids and how they daydream. So, and then with a daydream, if you really, and even if it seems impossible, just God is the God of impossible.
Yeah.
Let him do the impossible. And then guess what? Everybody's going to be like, how in the world did that happen? Well, let me just tell you, God did it. He gets the glory. But it did have to start with me dreaming about these things, because I would rather see God answer half of a big dream than all of a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give yourself permission to daydream. And to really think, what would I love? You're talking about your day. What would be your perfect day? Like, what would it look like to you? Do you want to have coffee and sit down and have quiet time with God and then take a shower? What do you want your perfect day to look like? Yeah. Dream on it and start speaking it. Because if we're creating God's image, we can speak forth things, because God spoke forth the earth. So we're going to speak forth these things, even your perfect day. And then you'll learn to put habits into place that will help you get to there. But your brain will start looking for things to actually testify that, oh, this can happen. But if you're negative, your brain's looking for things like that, and then that's what you're going to focus on. So train your brain to look for the daydream, the beautiful things, the positive things, and then that's what you're going to see. And then that's when the negative comes in. That's when it's going to be easy to speak the positive, when you're looking for those things. So, yeah. So, daydream. Yeah, about the days that I talked about, how you get to do these things and all that. And we'll kind of maybe do some tapping for the parasite things and the fear next week. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Because you need to deal with that. And in the meantime, write out some declarations of those parasites. Because, about how you trust God and they don't affect you. And there's no telling what all things you could write about it. So whatever you think about it, you start thinking the opposite. Okay. All right. Do you want to talk about anything else, or are you good?
Good.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, just keep me posted during the week still.
Okay.
And I still haven't figured out how to get my notifications on my phone very easily. I've got to learn my iPhone. I had a Droid for forever, and then I go into my iPhone and I'm like, settings? Okay, let me go into settings and figure all of this out. So do you know how to do it?
Well,
like to where it shows up. Somehow I got my Gmail to do that. That's it.
I guess, if you went into settings and then went into, I don't know where it's at about notifications and turn them on. But I've noticed I did turn off some of my.
Hey, Bree. What? Let me see my phone for a second. Let me see it. Oh, there you are. Oh, I can't hear you. I wonder why I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. There you are. Yeah. Okay, never mind, baby girl. Could you hear me the whole time or no?
Well, you froze for a little bit.
Okay, so. You did too, yeah. Froze faces are so funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just go into settings and look, because Gmail will stay on my phone until I flick it off or until I get another one. But I was trying to do that with at least my Voxer app, because if, I don't hear it go off, then I don't know that somebody did it. So anyway, but just keep on letting me know.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day. Y'all enjoy the arcade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day too.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oops.